Morning, everybody. It's Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Whew. There's a lot that's been going on in my world, and I have a lot to do today. Good news, number one, the daughter left a little while ago on her way to her home with her husband out of state. So kids are moving this weekend and in the upcoming week. So she'll be back down in probably 2 or 3 days because I have their dog. So I'm watching grandpuppies for a few days. And they got to come and get the rest of their stuff out of the home. Then the boys are going to move from mine and my husband's home to their home over there that my daughter is vacating. And I have a lot to do in this studio. A lot has changed since the last time we were in here. And I'm going to flip you around real quick. And I'm going to show you a few things that have changed. Alright guys, so other than the fact a giant pile here, you know that Vevor table? She's here now. All my little light toolboxes. This is a cabinet I made a year ago that fits perfectly there. I've got a rolling shelf there, and then of course my purple toolbox with all my paints in it. I do have a shelf there. Now, this shelf will not be staying, and that shelf won't be staying where they're at. They will shift. But, remember the cabinet that used to be here? It got moved. Remember, these were stairs? No more stairs. The cabinet that was over there, I put over here. And of course, everything is piled on top of it. This is all a work in progress. Because remember, I'm going to move my stairs to the middle of the loft. We're going to center it to the loft. That's going to be a project later. The loft, oh, that's a tomorrow problem. That's a future me problem. Yeah, you know, in the madness of moving this cabinet, I had to pull all the stuff off of it. So I pulled out my origami shelves and reloaded them, and that one's back empty. And I have a lot of work to do, but did you see what's in the corner over here? Yeah. Look. Look. It's my white Harbor Freight toolbox. Let me tell you, there's a story there. But we're not going to talk about that just now. We're going to check in with you later, and I'll give you that story. But cautionary tale, definitely, when it comes to ordering something from Harbor Freight in a pre-sale. But we'll save that story for a little bit later on in this video. Guys, I've got a long list of stuff I want to get done this morning. And I'm not going to bring you along because it's not going to be pretty. And then I have to go to town and I got to go get dog food. Doggies have to eat. They've had their breakfast, but, you know, I'm going to have to go get dog food in a while. So I'm going to jump off of here, get some things done. I've got stuff I need to move from inside this building to inside my house. And I just have a general mess I got to deal with. But we're going to work on it. And these guys here, these are my rubber stamps that are up on the wall. They've been here for a long time. And a container of some that I bought that have never been unpackaged. They've probably been there 5 years at this point. But those are going to come over here. And all this is going to be cleared off except for my stamping pad holders. But yeah, that's how things stand at the moment. It's Thursday. Valentine's Day is in 2 days on Saturday. Is my Valentine's Day tree decorated yet? No. Lights are on it. Some of the heart ornaments are on it. But I haven't finished. But hey, Valentine's Day is not till Saturday. It'll get there eventually. Only I care. Guys, I'll check back in with you later and give you a progress update. And until then, I'm going to jump in the chaos and try to get some order into the building here because it's bad. I'll check in with you in a little while. Bye. Alright guys, I'm back for a few minutes. I got a few more things knocked off of that list. I wanted to introduce you to my white toolbox from Harbor Freight that I've been waiting a month on. And give you the story on said box. You know, if you've been watching the videos, you know that we bought this on a pre-sale because it was out of stock, so they had to order it. And I was told, you know, a week, 2 weeks max. And then it turned into 3 weeks, and it would be February the 14th before it showed up. You know, and I had resigned myself to the fact of it is It is what it is. You have to wait till the 14th, Patricia. Go figure. But my husband went in. Let's see, today is Thursday. He went in on Tuesday to check on the box. And they pulled it up and said, well, at this point, it's going to be the 25th of February before it comes in. That night, I'm sitting on the couch, and I had pulled up the Harbor Freight website for our local store, and it said that my box was in stock. Hurry in now. Limited supplies available in your store. Okay. They've come in. Why haven't I been contacted that my box is in? Well, remember the story of, we can't give you the box unless it has your name on it? No, I was done. I had emailed corporate on Monday. Corporate headquarters for Harbor Freight is in California. They acknowledged within 30 minutes that they had received the email and that they would follow up on the matter. They still haven't followed up. Here we are 4 days later, and they still haven't followed up on the matter. Because I explained I was not happy. I've already prepaid for this box. And I know for a fact that the managers could say, hey, we got 2 of those boxes in. Let's give one of them to the guy, who pre-purchased one. So let's not make him wait anymore. The day I ordered this thing, it was, a week, 2 weeks max. Then it became a month. And then the other day, it became a month and a half. I wasn't happy. So yesterday morning, I came out to the studio. And I sat down and I pondered and I thought. And I'm like, you know what? There's things I need to do with this box that's kind of holding a few other things up. Yesterday, the day before, on Tuesday, I had worked on dismantling the stairs and getting the wood cabinet that was back over here moved. And yesterday morning, I came out to move a few more things around. And I'm like, no, I want my toolbox. I know they have them in stock. They're saying it's going to be another 14 days, mister. I said, no, not happy. Well, the store opened at 8 a.m. 8:30 in the morning, I went and pulled my receipt out. And I proceeded to plant my butt on the bar stool. And I called the store. And I put on the big girl britches and got a little mean and ugly. Let them know that had the clerk told me it could be a month to a month and a half to 2 months before I got my box that I had prepaid, and that I knew for a fact had been in their store 3 times since the day I ordered it. Had I known that was going to happen, I would have gone to the Harbor Freight location in a neighboring town that had it in stock that day and just bought it from them. And I told this woman, who was supposedly a manager, that the reason why I opted to purchase it, pre-sale purchase it at their store, was to help their numbers up. My husband and I, in the past 18 months, have spent a lot of money at that Harbor Freight store. We started a business 2 years ago, and there's a lot of stuff we bought at Harbor Freight. And I personally have bought. I'm a tool person. I love tools. I've spent a lot of money there. I was done. And I, in no uncertain terms, let her know that. So she goes, well, let me see. Do you have the SKU number for that box? And I said, I sure do. Here's my receipt. Here's the SKU number. She goes, well, hold on just a moment. She goes to put me on hold. By this time, I'd been on the phone with her for 15 minutes. It disconnected. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. I called immediately back. Got another person on the phone. And she goes, oh, well, ma'am, we just looked at that. It's going to be the 25th before that comes in. I'm like, no. I know you have them sitting in stock in your building that you're just going to put to the floor for anybody to come in and buy. I've already pre-purchased one. I don't care what your rules and regulations and your policies are. You satisfy me now and make it where I can go pick up my box. Or I don't shop at Harbor Freight anymore. Period. And at that point, my husband and I had already decided we weren't going to patronage that particular store anymore. Anyway, we'll go to the one the next town over. And she goes, well, hold on just a minute. She doesn't put me on hold. She just sets the phone down on the countertop, I guess. And you could hear her holler for somebody else that's in the back, obviously, that turns out is another manager, wanting to know if we had that particular SKU number in stock in the store. And she goes, yeah, I got 3 of them back here. Why? And, I didn't hear the woman that I was talking to. I didn't hear what she said. But she comes back on the phone and she goes, ma'am, she says, we're going to put your name on this box for you to come pick it up. And when yours does show up, we'll just put it to the floor. And I'm like, good, I'll be there in 25 minutes. 25 minutes? We were at the front of the store in our truck. And I handed the receipt to my husband. I said, you go in. I said, I don't want to go in because I will say something. And I'm not in the right frame of mind to not be a bee. Because I was beyond mad. Husband went in. Not even 45 seconds later, him and another gentleman are rolling the toolbox out because they come in a cardboard box and lifting it down the back of the truck. Husband gets in the truck. I'm like, that was quick. He said, yeah. He says, all the managers are hiding in the back of the store. He says, the young man's like, I don't know what happened, but they're not coming out till you pick this up. So, guys, here's what I can say about Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has got the good and the bad and the ugly. What I have achieved in this, the process, their policy is ugly. The box is good, but the policy is ugly. It's not right. Harbor Freight needs to do better. You come in and you special order something because it's not in stock. You should be given priority when it comes into the store, not the runaround that I got. But I'm going to go ahead and, I still have a lot to do and stuff, but I want to go ahead and introduce you to my box. Let me flip you around here. Hold on just a moment. All right. So this is the Yukon 46-inch worktop rolling toolbox with 9 drawers. Now, I don't have the handle on her. The handle will go right here. I haven't put the handle on her yet. I'll put it on probably later today or tomorrow. But she has 4 very nice wheels, 2 of which are swivel and have brakes on them, and the other 2 are solid. So if you purchase one of these boxes, the end that you're going to have your handle on is where you need to put your swivel locking wheels at, so it rolls easier, because these 2 here on this end are fixed. But the whole purpose of this particular box so that I could have all my die cutting supplies in one area. Originally, my Sizzix towers were going to go up here too, but I have 7 towers and they just weren't going to fit, so they're going to sit somewhere else. But let me introduce you to the box. Pretty white color. They have them in white, red, blue, and black. I don't think there's another color. But apparently the white is a very, very, very popular color. But the really cool thing is it does lock. Now, what's interesting about these keys, I've never seen this on toolbox keys, is you can leave the key in here and just flip it up to the side so it doesn't impede on anything. But right now, she's unlocked. But here on the top is some of my die cutting. I have a Spellbinders machine, which have been around for a long time. Small Sizzix side kit, a Cuttlebug. I don't know if they still make the Cuttlebugs or not, but out of the die cutting systems, if you want one that's portable, if you can get a hold of a Cuttlebug, I highly recommend a Cuttlebug. And this is the Sizzix Big Shot Pro. I absolutely love it. She's beefy though. I mean, she's heavy. She's heavy. But in the top drawer, and all the drawers come with a non-stick lining, so that stuff doesn't shift. Because remember, it's intentionally a toolbox. But I have all the cutting pads and cutting mats for the different machines. The longer dies for the Sizzix are in here. Got several long ones, and I have a big one here. Absolutely love this box. Then, now we have 2 sets on both sides. We'll go down this side here first. The top one, I have shorter dies, because I don't have a bunch of those. But these are embossing folders. And they're metal embossing that you can run through your machine to emboss your paper. But I have 2 sets of these. And this is something, Sizzix, it's hard to even get the cases anymore. Next door down, I don't have them all out here, but this is my paddle punch. I have the paddle punch mat. I haven't located it yet. But these are paddle punches. Flip this open. But this holds paddle punches. But what it is you've got a mat. You have your paper. You set the paddle punch down. You hold it with one side. And then you tap on it with a hammer to punch it out. So it's just a different version of a die cut. But it's one that you can take your aggressions out on. Next door down is the little Sizzix for the little sidekick. This fella here. All different dies and stuff. I used to have 8 different sets of these, 6 or 7 of these, different styles and stuff, and I gave a bunch away because I was not using them. So I just have these, and I also have long landscape plates that go through that one. And they're fun. One day I will do just a Sizzix video. Then down here, I have 2 of the original Sizzix die cut platforms. These are the plates that go in them. And then these are some of the larger dies. But Sizzix, I love it. Of course, I have my towers. I'll flip you around real quick. These are Sizzix towers. There's 7 of them there. But like I said, we will do a Sizzix video one day, and I'll introduce you to the Sizzix. But yeah, the whole purpose of this was for die cuts. Now, I made the choice. I also do vinyl with Cricut and a whole bunch of other stuff. I wanted a place to store the vinyl, but make it to where I didn't buy a ton that I'm not using. So I've opted to use these 3 doors here for vinyl storage. Up here on the top, as you see, it's not full, but I'm going to put extra pieces of vinyl because I have a big bucket somewhere with excess vinyl that's been used that I have the scraps from. That's where this is going to go. This is just where I can make my own stencils. Then this here, this is the Hobby Lobby brand vinyl. It's not too bad. It works. It works. But I don't want to buy any more than what fits in here. And then down here, I have the Cricut vinyl. And then also a very large box of transfer tape for the vinyl. But I don't want to buy any more vinyl than that. Because I don't do a lot of vinyl. I just started playing with it last year. But remember I was talking about the big container of embossing folders. Didn't know where I was going to put them. Well, these drawers are pretty deep. Bingo. So I just took the whole container it was in and just set it in there. At some point, I will properly organize it. Will I take it out of the basket? Maybe. I don't know. But I do have space because I know I have more. I have more of these somewhere. But that's the only thing I'm going to put in those. It's a container concept. If it doesn't fit in the container, I can't have it. If I want it, that means I have to remove something from the container to make room for it. But that's in my box. Now, originally I had wanted 2 of those at some point. But now I'm not 100% sure. I do know if I opt to buy one, I will go to a store that has it in stock. But let me flip you around here. You know, I've been buying the small rolling toolboxes from Temu that I absolutely love. I have the 3 black ones and my purple one. And once I get everything reorganized in here where I'd made the shift and start purging more, because I'm still purging. I have 2 more boxes of stuff went out. As I do a little bit more, I may buy, rather than the big toolbox, I may buy another one of those small rolling toolboxes because the convenience of having the little box is very, very nice. And I'll do a video in a few days. I'm going to be labeling and organizing because they're organized at this point. Those little carts are organized, but I need to label them. So there's 3 carts, and I don't know which one I need to pull out if I need a specific thing, like my glue sticks. But I'll introduce to you to those one day fully, and the Sizzix system. And then eventually we'll get back to actually crafting. But I'm going to check back in. I've got some errands to run. I've got some more stuff in here I need to do. And then I'll check back in with you this evening and see how your day has been going. See you in a little while. Hey guys, I'm back. It's been a few hours. I ran my errands. Go get the dog food. I went and hit, the craft stores and picked up some garlands and stuff for the Valentine's tree. And that's up on the tree. And kind of stinks because I have all the stuff here that I could make it myself. But I don't have the time. And I wanted to get something else up on the tree. So that's up. I have been busy in here. Now, I haven't touched the main craft area. The loft is a future me problem. But let me show you what I've gotten accomplished in the past few hours. First, I can see my floor. I can see my floor. Now, true, it needs to be swept and it needs to be mopped, but I can see the floor. All of this will be going away, so I can take that shelf down because this shelf will go there. But my big accomplishment is the cabinet. I got the Sizzix towers I was talking about earlier moved into place. And I've also gotten the bottoms organized. I have bookbinding supplies and spray paints in this. This one has trimming and craft mats, blank canvases and Floetrol. Then this one down here, I've got memory bins to go into scrapbooks, empty scrapbooks, porcelain tiles for alcohol inks, Disney puzzles that I think I'm just going to purge them and send them off to the thrift store. And this right here, the Sizzix I was talking about earlier that's in my white toolbox, that is a carrying case for the original red machine and a whole bunch of dies. Inside of that bag is a smaller Sizzix bag for the Sidekick and those dies. And yes, I have used it many, many times for crafting at my sister-in-law's house. Many, many times. I got to go through those, figure out where they're going to go. I need to purge, but that's a future me problem. My main goal was to try to see a little bit of daylight in the darkness right now. You know, I was able to get that set up yesterday. That made me happy. But I could see a lot of my floor. Stuff that was in here that should have already gone away has gone away. If you remember, if you've been with me long enough, when this big cabinet was over here, I had white bookshelves on it. And those are the older, cheapy bookshelves, that when I bought them 15 years ago, they were like $20 a piece. They weren't going to survive being saved, and really and truly, they don't save any room. And so they got to the point where they just got tossed out into the snowbank yesterday, or 2 days ago, and I busted them apart for the trash. We may just burn them. I haven't decided, but they need to go. They're gone. They're gone. The ones that I had on the wall underneath my scrapbooking sign, those are the heavy duty. It's Allen Roth was the brand from Lowe's. They're like the IKEA shelves. Those have all been put into the house as of yesterday. Those are going to make up part of the library walls. Because when it comes to building out that library, I'm going to use shelving that I already have. And I am looking forward to it because it's going to be a room that's going to have no electronics, with the exception of the Pixie Beam projector that I purchased. So that's going to be the only thing in there. And I'm looking forward to setting that up. It's going to take time. I'm going to take my time with that room. I do know that we want to put hardwoods down. It's carpeting now, but we do want to put the hardwoods down. So we've got to choose hardwoods. And my husband comes from a contractor family and has the ability to do that. I can do it now. It's right now, it may be a situation we just put it on the carpet for now and switch it over to hardwoods later on in the year. We're not sure yet. Haven't gone that far down the path of notes on that to figure that out. But I just wanted to jump back on here, and I'm going to let you guys go for the day. And I'm going to go inside and take a mental break. I'm going to play with the grandpuppies, my dogs, and just veg out in front of YouTube for a little while. I need the mental break. I did take a carload of stuff to the thrift store today during my errands. Stuff that's been hanging around in here for probably 4 or 5 months at this point. But it's gone, delivered. I made them happy. There was a bunch of 4th of July wreaths in there that was able to go. But yeah, it's getting there. It's a work in progress. Whose life isn't a work in progress? So guys, I'm going to let you go. If you've got a big project in front of you, just start. One little tiny step at a time. Do what I do. I sat in here last night and made a list of everything I wanted to do today, and I've been marking it off slowly. Literally, like, okay, take this to the trash. Take this to the Brown building. Take this to inside that. Marking that stuff off, and it makes it, when the list gets smaller, you've accomplished something. But my accomplishment today is being able to see my floor. I love being able to see the floor again, and it opens my space up again. I need it to open more, but I've got a lot of work to do before then. Guys, hopefully I'll be back in here tomorrow, and maybe I got that butterfly to finish. I've got to finish the butterfly because the butterfly is going to join that one. And I haven't figured out where he's going to hang out, but that's where he'll go. But guys, I'm going to let you go. And if I don't come back until after Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. And if you're single, there's nothing wrong with that. Go buy your own Valentine's Day gift, whatever your heart desires. Guys, until next time, remember, love yourself, believe in others, and inspire those around you. Talk to you later. Bye.